Drowning is the leading cause of death for children 1 to 4 years old. But the good news is it can be prevented by following these safety tips. Children need constant supervision when in or around water, bath time included. Designate a water watcher dedicated to distraction-free supervision. A life jacket in the proper size should be worn by children who can't swim. Use child-proof locks and door alarms on all doors leading to the pool area. Secure the pool area with a self-closing, self-latching gate. Keep toys and floating objects out of the pool. Pool alarms can be placed in the water for additional safety. Lastly, teach your children to swim. Check with your local recreation or aquatic center for swim lessons in your area. And check with your local fire department about CPR lessons. It could save a life. Visit largo.com/swimsafety to learn more about free water safety kits and life jackets from Largo Fire Rescue.
Heads up, Largo, your safety is our priority, and most pedestrians aren't as easy to see as Captain Play. Did you know Largo Fire Rescue responds to hundreds of vehicle versus pedestrian or bicyclist collisions each year? So when you're driving, be on the lookout for pedestrians and bicyclists. And when you see a flashing pedestrian beacon, be ready to stop. If you're a pedestrian or bicyclist, please always use the crosswalk when crossing a road. If you are at a crosswalk with a flashing beacon, push the button as soon as you arrive to tell drivers you want to cross. Once traffic has completely stopped, it's safe to cross. Captain Play, will you show us the way? The City of Largo wants you to stay safe. So remember, heads up, Largo, whether you're a motorist, pedestrian, or bicyclist. Don't let distractions limit your visibility, because wherever you're going, the goal is to arrive safely. Thanks, Captain Play, for showing us the way.
Hope you're able to join us this morning. If this is a coffee chat for today is March 5th, 2024, and hope you can join us and learn a little bit about what's going on here in Largo. If you are here, please feel free to make a comment and or ask a question, and I'll try to answer the question. If I don't know the answer to a question that is posted in the chat, I will find the answer and post it there. And also, I usually send out kind of a follow-up email or do a follow-up post. So it is the legislative session in the state in Tallahassee is wrapping up. So this is the end of the preemption parade, where Tallahassee has, preempted local governments from running and managing individual cities in this state for several years, and it continues. So on the top of that list is short-term rental preemptions. There's a vacation rental. They call it vacation rental. I guess that sounds nicer than short-term rentals, but there's a vacation rental bill that does preempt some things and has a good outline for cities to manage vacation rentals. Apparently, there's an amendment that looks very good that was put out by Representative Randy Fine he's over from like Space Coast, Satellite Beach area, so if that goes through on that particular bill, it could be okay. Cities around the state, including Largo, are kind of trying to figure out how to manage short-term rentals, reduce the impacts on our neighborhoods, and still be within what the state is allowing. They've really stripped down all of the possibility to manage short-term rentals back in 2011. So, good morning, Danny. All right, we got some. Let me get this out of here. So that's going on. There's also a residential building permit. So if you're building a house, it severely limits the amount of time that cities have to review those plans. I think it's something like 3 calendar days. So imagine that if you submit a permit on Friday, you have 3 calendar days. So on Tuesday, if the city doesn't respond, it is assumed to be approved. So that's going to be a little bit of a challenge for all cities. And we were trying to get, the premises, they're trying to speed up that process, which we understand that. They're trying to allow for more building faster. We just don't want to sacrifice safety and inspections and that type of stuff. Sorry, I got a helper here that's helping me out. So that's residential building permits. That still has a committee stop, I believe, and there's not a whole lot of committees that are moving this week, so that may go away. We'll see. Many of the things that gave me the most concern have died in committees or died in the committee process. There are a couple of things still moving through, including those two, and then also there's a bill that is making it illegal for public camping or sleeping. It's trying to curb homelessness. It's not really addressing homelessness. It's just addressing the fact that people are don't have homes. So they do allow cities and counties to designate particular areas for camping or public sleeping. We'll see what happens with that. Certainly, the city of Largo's got in the last 5 years, we've really changed our focus on trying to help people get back in homes and trying to make sure that there's affordable places for people to live to help prevent homelessness. It's not an easy battle, but it's certainly something that we've been focused on. But they expect to wrap up this week just in time for spring break. I guess they've got, I don't know if the legislature is planning to go to Daytona Beach for spring break or what, but they're hoping to get wrapped up by this week. The only thing they have to do is pass a budget, and they're trying to wrap that up this week and be out of Tallahassee by Friday. So what's happening around Largo? We've got a Play Express today at Eagle Lake Park. I talk about that usually every month, but that's a mobile kind of play area for a lot. We've got a lot of homeschool kids that come to that, or kids that are not yet in, that are pre-kindergarten that come, and we set up some cool activities and have a staff person there to play, corn toss and all kinds of kind of fun stuff. But we show up in a park that doesn't have that type of stuff and make it available to anybody that wants to come out. Today's at Eagle Lake Park. Tomorrow's over at Largo Central Park in the morning at 9 o'clock, and then Datsko Park at 3 o'clock. For the full schedule for Play Express, you can go on playlargo.com or Parks and Recreation website. This Friday we have Largo Live at Datsko Park featuring Breck Milo, and that is Datsko Park's over on the east side of town. That's live music from 6 to 8. And then next week we don't have Largo Live because the Shamrock and Run is on Saturday. I'll talk about that in a second. But in 2 weeks, the Largo Live, so March 22nd, will be at Woodrow Park in downtown, and that'll be March 22nd, Woodrow Park. So the Shamrock and Run is next, not this coming, but the following Saturday. It is the 16th. It's a 5K run, a 1.5 mile walk, and a kids fun run for kids 10 and under. We have, I think, as of this morning, 394 total participants signed up, which is way ahead of where I've seen us ever before. So there's going to be a good group. We've got people from around the country, certainly people from around the Tampa Bay area. I don't know what it is with Palm Harbor, but they're all coming down to run our 5K. A lot of folks from Safety Harbor too. But we've got Patty Lake from Geneva, Wisconsin. We've got a whole family from Brielle, New Jersey. We've got people from Iowa, from Kentucky, from Tennessee, from Idaho. All, I assume, just coming down here to run in our 5K. So we do have a good crowd. It's a good time. There's a post event so after the race. There's an event at Ulmer Park where there's live music. You can buy a cold beer for St. Patrick's Day. There'll be plenty of food at food trucks right along First Avenue in Ulmer Park. So come down, even if you don't want to run the 5K, come to the after event. It will be a good time. Make sure if you're coming to run wear your green. I got my green on today, and that is on the 16th of March. So because of the Shamrock and Run, I said we weren't doing the concert at a park. What is that called? Largo Live. Sorry, but we are doing the concert series at the golf course. So there will be some live music at the golf course next Friday, and I think that's a little bit longer. I think it goes from 6 to 9 over at the Largo Golf Course. That's their concert series. I think they do that one time a month at the golf course. It's under the portico in the back of the golf clubhouse. So those are some events that are going on. I'd like you to mark your calendars as well for the Shred Fest. The Shred Fest next date is April 13th, so get those boxes of paper together, and that is from 9 until noon at the Starkey Road Recycling Center. So it's April 13th, and then the next one's not until October 19th. So April 13th, just before tax day. So after you get all that stuff together, whatever you want to shred, take it out to the Starkey Road Recycling Center. So just a announcement, as you know, the presidential preference primary, I think is what they're calling it, is on March 19th. But this Thursday, 2 days from now, is the last day to request a mail-in ballot. So you have to do that by Thursday, otherwise you go vote in person. March 30th, so that's the end of the month, we're having a Great American Cleanup. So we're participating in the Great American Cleanup, which is nationwide, and so there's cleanups all over the country. But we'll be doing a cleanup at McGow at 9 in the morning, and there'll be plenty of things to do there, as well as cleaning up some litter and much of the stuff's kind of off the boardwalk, if you will. But we're going to have some time cleaning up McGow Nature Park. I will not be at the cleanup because I will be with a group of people visiting over to our sister city over in Japan. I'll be going with members from the city, from the Lions Club, and other business members and just community members. I think there's 19 of us going in total. Our sister city, Kami, Japan, is down in the southeastern part of the country in the Kochi Prefecture. We've been a sister city with Kami since 1969. That city is about 25,000 people. It's much larger geographically than Largo, so it's a pretty rural area just off the coast. I think it's the only city in the Kochi Prefecture that's not directly on the coast, but it's about 1.5 miles away from the coast. So we'll be over there visiting Japan at the end of this month. So looking forward to that. I don't know much Japanese, but Jenny's been learning a little bit, and I've been learning about food in Japan. So I hope to see it. We're staying with a host family. I'm actually Jenny and I will be staying with the mayor of Kami, so we're excited about that. We do have a city commission meeting tonight. Tonight's meeting we are celebrating Women's History Month, and we'll be honoring a Largo High School classmate of mine for her contributions in the area, and so I'm excited about that. I'm not going to tell you who it is, so you'll have to watch the meeting tonight. But it's somebody that I went to school with, and very excited to read her name in the agenda last week. Like, I know this person. So I didn't have anything to do with the picking. She's been doing some great stuff around Largo. We also will be talking about accepting a $500,000 FDEP grant for the McGow Boardwalk to replace that McGow Boardwalk. If you've been out to McGow Park recently, you've seen, you've probably been on the boardwalk, and it needs to be replaced, and it's been repaired many times. So we're going to get a federal grant to help us do that. There is a cell tower renewal, not the proposed cell tower at McGow Park. That thing has been tabled. Y'all probably know my feelings on that. I think it's a tough ask to convince me that we need a cell tower in a nature park. I don't expect that they're going to come back with a design that I can get behind, but we'll see. but the cell tower we're talking about tonight is over at the Public Works building, which is an appropriate place. It's not real. It's kind of an industrial area, not close to a whole bunch of private homes, not on a nature park. So we'll see. We'll talk about that a little bit. There's also a proposal that we'll be discussing to go back to 2 assistant city managers. We had 2 assistant city managers for many, many years until Mr. Schubert took over as city manager, and he didn't replace he didn't fill his spot that he left. And it's the current city manager, Mr. Kerp, would like to have that second assistant city manager back, really to get some more operational oversight and continuity for our departments. I think it's a good idea, but we'll talk about that a little bit tonight. And that's what I have. Let me see. My next coffee chat is in person, and that's in 2 weeks over at the golf course. And I don't see, good morning, Susie. I don't see any questions. So I guess I must have hit everything that you guys were wanting to hear. Again, if you do have anything that comes up or have any questions, feel free to reach out here. I am available, and I'll get you answers, and we can work on things together. So thank you for joining me this morning. I hope that you all have a wonderful day.
Hello, I'm Megan, and I'm so glad you're here. It's a beautiful day in Largo, where the city has been committed to building the community of choice in Tampa Bay by focusing on sustainability, public health and safety, and community pride. There's been a lot to see in 2023, and today I want to give you just a glimpse of what's being done to build the community and what's on the horizon. Let's start with what Largo's doing to address one of Pinellas County's greatest needs, which is housing and its impact on building a sustainable community. I'm at First Avenue Northeast, where, as you can see, a new home is under construction. In addition to representing the hope of home ownership for a first-time home buyer, this home is also a story of collaboration and community partnerships.
So Largo is addressing the need for more affordable housing by modifying development codes and partnering with developers and nonprofits. So we are working with a nonprofit, it's Suncoast Housing Connections, and they actually are building it as their own home. So that way the homeowner, when they move in, the utility costs will not be as high.
Adding on all of the sustainability, the solar, the extra insulation, the on-demand hot water heater, and other things like that, we're able to eliminate, for the most part, all of the utility costs for the home buyer.
Largo is also working with developers and teaming up with other community partners as well.
Grand Oaks is a new apartment complex on Clearwater Largo Road with mixed housing for affordable and market rate units. We also have a partnership with Catholic Charities, where a new home was just built for a family exiting homelessness. Seminole Square is another partnership with Pinellas County Housing Authority, City of Largo, and private investors.
Suncoast Housing Connections hopes the home will be ready for its first owner by fall of 23. Now, other investments in Largo's commitment to sustainability and resilience this year include increasing Largo's fleet of electric vehicles, modernizing operational software, and expanding the Largo Public Library's home delivery service. Another area that Largo has been making strides is pursuing financial sustainability and public safety by seeking grant funding to accomplish key projects. Now, I'm at the Largo Police Department, where officers are now equipped with body-worn video cameras, thanks in part to a federal appropriation grant that is sharing the cost of this potentially life-saving technology.
Body-worn cameras are standard equipment for police in 2023. This project really was a major step forward for Largo PD. We were able to secure a competitive federal grant as well as a federal earmark. It allowed us to accomplish the project sooner, allowed us to buy more cameras up front, and allowed us to implement the project a little bit faster.
Body-worn cameras have been beneficial to officers to help us document the environments that we go into and the conditions that we encounter residents in.
In addition to the police body cameras competitive grant and federal earmark, the city has also secured federal funding for the Largo Public Library solar project and state funding towards a new restroom facility at Largo Central Park.
Largo is also pursuing additional earmark and grant funding opportunities.
Pending grant applications for other important projects include the replacement of the McGowan Nature Park boardwalk, the relocation and elevation of 3 wastewater lift stations, installation of electric vehicle charging stations at all public city facilities, and new equipment for Largo Fire Rescue.
Another investment this year in public safety includes increased staffing at Station 41, which has provided a dedicated medic unit to administer advanced life support by a non-transport capable unit. Largo also takes great community pride in its parks, green spaces, and natural ecosystem. Largo's network of over 50 ponds helps preserve the environment and protect our local waterways. Many investments have also been made this year in Largo's stormwater infrastructure.
All the sedimentation, toxins, things that go over impervious surfaces into our stormwater system will end up in a pond. The pond will then allow for the sedimentation to drop to the bottom of the pond, filter out some of the impurities, make that water a little cleaner, and then at some point send it back into the system downstream.
A few notable investments into a more proactive streets and stormwater system include a pavement preservation program and interactive map to assist with pavement planning.
With a better structure of identifying issues, Largo will be better equipped to maintain our stormwater system. This will ensure that our waterways are maintained and we're doing our part to not only protect our citizens, but also the environment, to ensure that our ponds and our channels are as clean as they can be, as visually appealing as they can be.
So as you can see, it's been an eventful 2023, and in some ways, Largo's just getting started. Budget priorities in 2024 include investments in serving those experiencing homelessness and continuing to focus on team members who build the community of choice. Largo also has its sights set on a vibrant downtown. Several new downtown additions are in the works right now, including a mixed-use project in the development review process called The Station, the Skyview Townhomes, which are currently under construction, and Horizon West Bay, Largo's new downtown City Hall complex. This unique mixed-use project will be LEED certified, add a parking garage to downtown, and host 18,000 square feet of retail space to attract destination restaurants, nightlife, and local retail to Largo's downtown district. So stay connected to the future of downtown Largo and Horizon West Bay at downtownlargo.com. And you can stay connected to the future of Largo's budget and get involved in the process by visiting largo.com/budget.